Well, there's a rising rate of unemployment in the country. We speak of about 2.64%. That is as of 2019 and 7.27% in 2020. We are here. 2021 wasn't so rosy because of COVID-19. And of course, we are still waiting to get the statistics of the same, and equally 2022. And though this has cost a lot of youths in the country, turning to desperate measures, deciding that, what, how about we go and try and find jobs abroad. And while it works well for others, it's been quite a nightmare. And for a moment we say, what is this one thing that pressures people to think of rushing abroad, to find safer grounds? Evidently, we have no jobs in the country as well. And that is one thing most of the people during their campaign moments speak of. We are heated, we are on a heated political season. And I know you're going to hear this from left, right, and center. People who seek to get your votes are telling you that we will come and we'll create jobs and all that. But right after they garner that seat, you probably don't get lucky enough to get to see them. There's so much that has been done towards making sure that the welfare of the people who go abroad is well looked into. We speak of the Regulatory Authority Chief Executive Godfrey Kiptum at some point in time, saying that we probably need to come up with mechanisms of deriving, insurance cover for the people who travel abroad, so that their welfare is well catered for. We still need to know whether such has been achieved. Just the other day, members of the Senate equally argued on the welfare of the people who travel to Saudi Arabia, who travel abroad in search of jobs. This after videos have been going round, girls crying out foul, saying that, they need help because what it is that they were promised is not what they got. But equally, their fair share of, good stories that come from this particular end. And so today, we want to engage, the CEO of Competitive Manpower International, that is Moses Adala, as pertaining to, what options are available for our people who go abroad, and whether the scenario is as ugly as many would want to paint it. Why is it that even as we receive these reports, bad reports for that matter, we still have many of us who are interested to travel abroad? We still have many of us who are working with agencies, who are working with, recruitment firms to find their way up. And in the event that you decide that that is the direction you're taking, what is the most noble angle to take to make sure that you do not land yourself in trouble? Karibu sana sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. Contentious issue also to speak, and the reason why I picked you to have this conversation is because I know that you are in this particular field. It is a field that has been labeled black, and this raises concern as to what needs to be done to make sure that we create that assurance for our people, that in the event that you decide to travel abroad in search of a job or for a job, because most of them live here having gotten the job already, then your safety is guaranteed as an employee.
Thank you so much, Madam Linda, for having me.
It's a pleasure.
I'm called Moses Adala, the CEO of Competitive Manpower International Limited. Competitive Manpower International Limited, we are now in 6 countries.
All right.
It started in 2010. Right now we are in Kenya, we are in Uganda, we are in Tanzania, we are in Sierra Leone, we are in UAE, and we are in Ghana. Yes. All
right. That's a good thing. And you took us a little bit too fast, because definitely I would have asked what Competitive, Manpower International is all about, and, what it does in terms of that. So when you speak of the fact that you're in all these areas, what exactly is it that Competitive Manpower International does?
Competitive Manpower does the recruitment and the replacement of locals to foreign countries.
All right. Before we get to delve deep into that, it is a murky water, like I started by saying, that the waters there are a little bit murky. It has been a sector that has been painted black. I started by mentioning the fact that we have had the Senate Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, addressing this matter in Senate, where they argued that it would have been necessary for us to stop Kenyans from seeking jobs in Saudi Arabia, to be specific, and maybe other regions, until that moment where their safety is assured. Probably to start from that very point, do you have a feeling, or based on the people that you've worked with, the people that you've taken abroad, would you confidently say that it's been a good ground for the same, and that, all this black painting is probably not exactly what plays out there?
Okay, Linda, I would tell you that what is being painted actually is what's not on the ground. But the whole issue is our failure by the government to put some checkups. For instance, I would tell you that registered agents, we are 527 registered.
So you're an agency, or you are more of a recruitment firm? What is the difference between these two?
Actually, almost the difference is the same.
Okay.
We call ourselves agents because there is this particular person we source for, who is the employer.
Okay.
As our role is to connect. We source, we connect the job seeker to the final employer.
Okay.
Also checking the welfare of those whom we employ.
So when you speak of checking the welfare,
yes.
At what point? At the point of inception, at the point where you're planning, or at the point where then you're saying, right after you probe further, you speak further to the people whom you have sent there to know whether their current status is okay, or to know whether they are liking it, whether the funds are being paid as expected, or they're getting the salaries as expected, to know whether whatever it is that they stay, whatever it is that they do is technically what it is that they left and went there to do. What goes into the aspect of making sure that their welfare is checked?
Okay, when we saw somebody, this person signs a contract. Mostly the contract is 2 years, and it's our obligation to see that within these two years, we check if this person's welfare is okay, is paid on time, is paid well.
These 2 years?
Yes.
So in most cases, you will not go beyond 2 years?
Okay, after the 2 years,
then they can renew?
They can renew.
Okay.
In the time of renewal, we are not party to the agreement. Yes. Yeah.
In the time of renewal, you're not party to the agreement.
Yes.
And therefore, then they work with the people that are on the other side. If they decide to renew?
Yes, it's up to them.
It's up to them.
Yes.
If they decide to come back home?
It's up to them.
But don't you think then it would be important for you as agents to follow up and make sure that for us to switch to the next hand, then you must have come back home first, for us to know that yes, after taking you there, then you are back home in safe hands.
So what are actually what happens is after the 2 years, you come back.
You come back without you have to.
Yes, you have to.
Okay.
You have to.
Okay.
Unless if you've decided as a person that no, I'm not going to go back to Kenya.
Yes.
I'm going to continue. But the agreement is after 2 years, this person is supposed to come back home.
We have our own children in prison, in depositation centers. Some have come back in coffins and all that. And the conversation has been, yes, what is normally sold to them is very beautiful, but what they find on the other side is contrary to the same. Have you had such experiences with the people that you've sent there? And if not, what do you think, as an entity, as agencies, you need to do to make sure that you make this a game of the past, so that people who travel abroad in search for jobs are guaranteed of safety on that end, and therefore it does not weigh down on on your entities or on your agencies in terms of credibility?
Okay. Madam Linda, I would tell you that I've been in this business for 10 years.
Yeah.
Not in one country, but 6. But I've never had even a single incident where somebody has been brought to in coffin or in a distress call.
Right.
Then we need to ask ourselves, we take both men and women. Why is it that we are having a lot of challenges with the women? Our sisters we get all these problems from the sisters. Where do they go wrong? Then you've mentioned the issue of deportation in jail. I think the law in Saudi or Qatar or Dubai is almost like the law here in Kenya.
Right.
Before you are taken to prison,
There has to be a reason.
There must be a reason which has been proven by court that you need to
go to jail.
You need to go to jail. Most of the things that happen, we have people who are called the Kembois. Two, we have...
who are these Kembois?
Kembois are people who don't respect the contract.
Okay.
If the moment they leave Kenya, they reach the other side, they run away.
All right.
So if they are caught, they are jailed.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay.
Two, we have issues of our ladies engaging into love affairs with, not all, but a few, with the bosses the other side. And, women are attached, the housemates are attached to the mothers of the house. So that's also a big challenge. The third thing is our airport has already an issue. I would give you an example. We ask ourselves, why is it that if somebody wants to do human trafficking from Burundi, the destination, the point of taking this person should be Kenya. Kenyan ports.
Right.
When you talk of Uganda, it's the same. Talk of Tanzania is the same. That means that also, however much there is a complaint the other side, it might be genuine because of the system
that
at
we
home.
have at home.
Yes.
Have these issues been raised to the necessary, stakeholders for them to address the same?
Yes, we have, and actually the whole industry is left to one. I would say one person actually is the Director General of National Employment Authority. Is almost the one doing the policing, everything. She's doing a very wonderful job, but she's alone. She can't. We need to have checks and balances at the airport. We need the Minister of Foreign Affairs to do its job. We need also labor to look at the agreements. And also the internal security. How do people pass through the airport without knowing whether they have been vetted or not?
Are these genuine loopholes, or you think they are deliberate? Because sometimes, it's a lucrative business, I'm told. And like you rightfully put it, sometimes it's all about human trafficking. And they pass through these points, that lie in Kenya. So do you suppose it could be deliberate, or it's genuine that maybe the authorities do not understand that these problems exist, and therefore that's the reason why they've not addressed them? I
would say the authority understands. Because there is no way we would have issues. Sometimes they they arrest a few people, then they stop there. But do they think of, okay, this is the thing. Can we set up there is a clearing process? Why can't they do it electronically, that when you've cleared somebody, the airport just opens the computer and it looks at, okay, this person has been cleared. But what we have right now is as long as you have a passport and you have a genuine visa at the airport, you just pass. They don't care whether you have been recruited in the right way or not. Okay. That's where the challenge is. Yes.
And therefore, this one paints the whole sector.
The whole sector
badly.
Bad.
Okay.
Yes.
You spoke about most of the people that you take there, and those ones that you speak of, Kembois, that would decide to go against the contract or against what it is that has been, agreed upon. What informs this? What makes one to say that, well, I have landed here, so let me run away and find my way? What makes them to get involved with, these relationships or with these men, and, probably in return of something and all that? Do you suppose it's because they understand at the back of their mind that, it's only a 2-year contract, and then if these 2 years are gone, the chances are that I'll go back then to the old life, to poverty, to troubles? Because you agree with me that if you get a job today, you want it to last long. You want it to be permanent, or so to speak. Yes. That is the only way then you're able to transform your life. But 2 years probably such a short time, and maybe they don't get much. Would you be open to disclose the highest that one can get when they get there?
Okay. The highest, as per the Kenyan agreement between the government of Kenya and the government of, maybe, let me say Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They signed 850. That's Saudi Riyal. That's an equivalent to around 22,000.
Okay, Kenyan shillings.
Kenya shillings.
Is what when
yes,
gets
that's
monthly.
the minimum. That's for the housemaid.
Okay.
Then what brings all this runaway is quick money. Because when you land the other side and you are not through the agent, you can be earning to 3,000 to 3,500 a month. So people don't care about the situation they are putting themselves into. But they look at the money. How much am I getting when I'm not into the right contract?
Right.
Yes.
If this person can go there and get a loophole of running away from maybe the employer and all that, does it then mean that there's no proper security on the other side to guarantee them safety as well? Because if there's an opening for someone to be crafty, I mean, does it not put a question mark? If you as an agent would release someone to a country and you're not even worried they would run away, and in the event that they run away, don't you feel a little bit scared that maybe the mechanisms on the other side are not as good?
Okay, well, we do get scared, but and actually the system which is there is called the Musanet. It's a very good system. One, where before the lady leaves here, the agent from here, the embassy and the Minister of Labor or the National Employment Authority knows what kind of family this person is going to go to. Because the contract, the telephone number, the size of the house is already within the system.
Okay.
Now, what happens is when somebody runs away, there is also a challenge now. You can't trace this person because he's already out of the ladder. You cannot know that. Okay, Saudi Arabia is as big as the East African countries. Just imagine somebody has left Nairobi, he has run to Kisumu, or to Garissa, or to Rwanda, or to Tanzania. To trace such a person is a bit hard. And how do they run away? They run away by the help of fellow Kenyans. Okay. Yes, especially we do take drivers. So some Kenyans and some foreign nationals do help in the process of making this person run away. Does it not then cause trouble with the people back at home? Because I want to assume that some of the girls, or so to speak, or even the young men that you take there are pretty much young, and maybe some of these processes have been done by their own parents and all that. Maybe at 22 or 23 is when someone is traveling there in search of a job. Do you not then guarantee, let's just speak about the fact that, you know, the pre-departure arrangements that are there in terms of ensuring that the person you are given or you've bestowed on my hand is safe, and I'm taking them to destination B and they will be okay in destination B. If they go there and elope, what questions do you have to answer to the people on ground, to the family that they have left behind? Do you always are in constant touch with their families to make sure that you guarantee them that there's safety, you know, their kid is in the right hands? Yeah, we do. Actually, what the government did was, first of all, before you leave, there is a training for 1 month. We train them on home care, what the culture of the other side, what is expected of them, and they leave knowing that, okay, if we mess up here, there is this trouble. They have already been told of the consequences in the event that they run away. Okay. So it's like they leave when they are kind of informed. Like myself, I don't take housemaids, but I do train them. I have a school, I train them. I know whatever they go through, the process of recruiting a lady, from the time of the recruitment to the time of deployment and the time when this lady is coming back. What then, after training and all that, if you say you don't take housemaids, whom do you take abroad? Okay, me, I take actually professionals. What do you mean when you say professionals? I take... Okay, men, mostly men, and some ladies who who have some certificate, a diploma and above.
A diploma in the field that you're taking.
Yes.
So what fields are most popular?
Okay, we have drivers, we have mechanic, we have plumber, we have accountant, we have AC technician. Okay, most of them are technical jobs. Yes.
And so that means I do not come out of this place and come to you without my certificate, without my diploma. I have to confirm that I have gone through school for this.
Yes, you have to have passed through a school, actually, from a recognized institution in Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Very important that you engage. Moses right here. You can only ask the questions. I might not be able to ask as much as you need to ask. And I see many of us are watching. Kindly drop any question that you would be having for him. Remember, it's not just about speaking of competitive manpower, but generally looking at the angle of making sure that we have our very own children as they travel abroad, because it's quite a common thing. And it's not just in Kenya. You know, Africans at large will always school hoping that one day they'll be out of the country. True. Africans at large will always school knowing very well that there are no employment opportunities in the country. That assumption was so to speak. And they proceed to this other side. How has it been, you know, with all these recruitment processes and making sure that you get the right, individuals? Is it more of, you are the one who's going to take them through the interview to confirm whether their papers are legit, to confirm whether they're the right individuals to take abroad, and then you give to the next agent on the other side, or what exactly happens? Okay,
what we do is we advertise.
Okay.
After advertising, they bring in the CVs.
Okay.
The initial stage, we interview them. Then after interviewing, the second stage, those who have passed the first stage are sent to the second stage. Second stage, which is the other company, the other side, then also interviews.
So you have professional interviews, or what exactly happens? Because then you are speaking of very many different sectors, we're speaking of plumbers, accountants and all that. So do you have professionals to look at these people, to interview them, and to know that they have chances of qualifying?
Yeah, we do have professionals. Then we also ask them to go and certify their documents. Yes. So whenever they bring the documents, we always take them for certification to prove that, okay, this person passed through this institution. Yes.
Professionals, when you're dealing with them, in most cases, even in the country, the treatment is different, probably the pay is different as pertaining to, the specific profession that we're talking about. So say for an accountant, if you were to take them, if you've ever taken them,
yes.
The payment, is it a little bit different in comparison to the others? Their way of living, whatever it is that they get on the other side, and what do they require for them to come to you once they say, okay, I am a professional and this is it? Is it the only thing that they require so that then they can be incorporated, and you'll say it's just a job like any other that you would get in the country, and then you're told start your job on this date, travel, all this and everything is catered for?
Okay, when a professional comes, first I would say that the payment of a housemaid is not the same as an accountant or a doctor.
It shouldn't be.
The other one, even the living conditions are different. We have professionals who are given family visa. They go with even their families, the other side.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
The payment is, I would say, better as compared to what they would earn here at home.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, it's always like much more than the standard amount of money that you'll earn at home.
Yes.
At home.
Yes.
Would you confidently tell people to travel abroad? I know this is what you do, away from the fact that this is your job. Would you confidently advise someone, who's probably done accountants or, CPAs and all that back at home to take up the challenge and try the waters on the other side? Because the few that are there and the complaints that we've had would get you thinking that maybe it's not necessary to be there. You can as well do it while at home.
Madam Linda, I would tell you that I'm one of the beneficiaries of going abroad to work.
Okay.
In 2010, when I'd just completed, I completed the university in 2008. The whole of 2009, I never had a job.
Okay.
So the first job I landed on was an administration job I went to Saudi Arabia in a company called Al-Munajim. Then I worked for a year. Then things changed. What changed was they introduced the system which is called Saudarization. So they were taking all these people who are working in administration in offices to give it to the local nationals. So when it came and they were like, okay, now you either reduce your salary, but it's an agreement. Either you agree, if you don't agree, you go back.
Okay.
So what I did was I said, I can't continue with the pay cut. The best thing I can do is go back home. When I came back home, I set up my own business, my company. Today, without contradiction, even if somebody says is employing me here for 2 million, I will not take that job.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you already are doing so well.
Yes,
but not every other person has that, that capability. And like you rightfully put it, you go there, you probably have been promised 2 years, and then 1 year down the line, the tone changes. What mechanisms have been put up to make sure that your interest then will be met, then your troubles will be addressed? Because I would want to assume that even as I come to TV47 and match there is always an agreement that this is my contract, this is what the contract says, it's 3-year contract. If I am to say I'd want to release myself from this particular entity and say that I cancel my contract, then there are ramifications to it, then there are, ways of communicating this, if need be, prior and all that, as pertaining to the arrangement that you have. Who then would come in to protect you? Because I'm sure that was a short change. You go there, you probably have been told it's 2 years, and then 1 year down the line, it's a whole different thing. Who compensates for all this?
Okay, it was a government policy, so I was compensated fully.
Fully, okay.
Fully compensated. I was paid fully for the 2 years.
Okay. Because
I was either to remain with a pay cut or I get all my full amount of money, then I leave. So I decided they pay me the whole amount for the 2 years, then I leave. Yes.
So is there a clear database of where these people work, the contacts, and this then would be helpful to make sure that in the event of something, they can be helped, they can be assisted, or they can as well be used to convince other people that it's greener on this other side?
Okay, we do have actually from the housemaid to the professions, there are mechanisms. When they leave, we have the contact of the other company. Two, for the housemates, we have what is called the Musanet. Musanet guides us from the time this girl has been hired to the time is coming back. The process actually is online. You can check anytime knowing whether this person is still at point A or point C.
Okay.
Yes.
How far do you go with social protection programs that could be necessary? I come here, I'm asked whether I have a medical cover, whether I'm insured and all that. While government at some point in time wished to address this, I don't know how far they have gone in terms of making sure, but just generally for a majority of them who can easily be shortchanged on the social protection programs, say public health or health cover and all those things, in most cases will make them vulnerable. What has been done to make sure that this is streamlined so far?
Okay, the process is already streamlined. The only thing which we do here may be lack of knowledge.
Okay.
I would say that for the agent, for the 527 agents who are generally legit, one, we have, before we are given a license, we pay 1.5 an insurance cover. This insurance cover is for the event that this lady whom we had taken or this profession has a misunderstanding from the other side, and the other side cannot repatriate this person back home, we have already an insurance cover that does that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And we speak of numbers of about, say, 2019, 2020, at least the latest statistics that we have speaks of about 29,448 Kenyans or Kenyan migrants, workers having gone or have been cleared to travel to, say, Saudi Arabia alone. These are like households, like you rightfully put it. Why do you suppose that even with the reports that we get, even with the videos that go around and they instill fear in us, they still that urge for many people to travel abroad, that there is still large numbers of people that are traveling abroad for work?
Okay. One is poverty at home. Somebody would just say, okay, instead of dying because of hunger, let me go and try somewhere else.
Yeah.
Then also they see a lot of friends who have made it through Saudi Arabia or the Middle East. People come, do a lot of investments. And whatever the media puts it is not what is on ground. Is
it the media or it's what we receive in form of information? And if there's so much goodness, why don't we have agents like you, recruitment, bodies like you coming out to speak of the goodness that exists therein?
Okay, I would say the media simply because maybe when you get this story,
right,
you don't try to investigate and get both sides
they
of
do.
the story.
In most cases, you probably don't find people who are willing to speak.
Madam Linda, I would say no. We had a case. I was on one of the TVs.
Yeah.
This lady was a runaway, and we investigated.
Okay.
After investigating, we realized the way this girl was exported was not right. It was purely human trafficking. One. Two, when she reached the other side, she ran away from the sponsor. We have all that evidence. Then when she came back home, she was all over the media. And one time we met in one of the media houses.
Okay.
And she got shocked when we had to give her the information. Then that information was actually from a Kenyan journalist. He's called Madenge. Yes.
Okay.
John Madenge.
All right.
John Madenge took the initiative to go to Saudi Arabia to investigate this matter, come back with concrete evidence of what had transpired. It's what vindicated the agents. Okay. But this lady was all over the media, from one media to the other. Then we wondered, how were these people getting the information? Yes.
What would it take for us to enlighten our girls and the men that go out there? Like you say, you have a training program for the girls that travel abroad for work. I don't know whether you treat the professionals the same way, or it ends at the point of you are a professional, that's it, you qualify, proceed. Are there instances where you speak to them and I mean, are there places they can go to confirm that they're dealing with the right agencies? Because as well, there are agencies that are rogue. And I mean, we have seen the government numerously trying to clamp down on some of these agents that actually disguise themselves as job recruitment agencies. You see, those are two different things, yes, in as much as they are more or less the same. So in this particular sense, there's probably that need to make sure that everybody is involved so that they understand that when it gets to this level, raise an alarm, because it could be human trafficking. When it's at this level, have the confidence that in as much as I do not know who Moses is, but I would want to believe that Competitive Manpower International is a credible entity.
Okay, thank you, madam. Now on the issue of knowing whether the agent is legit or not. One, we have National Employment Authority. You go to the website of Labor, it's under the Ministry of Labor. All the agents which are credible are registered there. Then the process of recruitment is quite different. I would say that if somebody wakes up today and tells you that, Linda, in 2 days you find yourself in either Qatar or Dubai, start putting a question mark there.
Okay.
Then the process of vetting, You, the applicant, has to go in person with the agent to the Minister of Labor with your contract.
Yeah.
They look at it and ask, are you comfortable with this? Is this the job that you signed? After that, you sign. I came with one of the copies here.
Okay.
You can look at it. This is what is called the clearance. The clearance, somebody has to sign in person in the presence of the labor official.
Okay.
Meaning that you've agreed, and where you're going, you are comfortable with it.
So these are different people that have, say, traveled.
Yes, like these ones have already traveled.
Okay.
And this is where the salary, the passport number, the name, where they are going, the salary, everything is indicated on the clearance.
Okay.
So if you find that there is no clearance, put a question mark.
Okay.
If somebody tells you that, okay, Linda, I'm taking you, but you will sign the contract at the airport. Question mark.
Okay. So
Yes.
the contract needs to be signed while
you
you're at
sign
home.
the contract while you are here at
So they
home.
send contracts from there?
Yeah, they send the contract, you sign, you take the copy of the contract to the Minister of Labor for attestation to confirm that this is what you signed for and this is the company which is taking you.
Okay.
Then when you go to the office, there are licenses. Actually, in recruitment is the most expensive license. This license costs 500,000.
So it's important that when someone is going there, they check out for this license.
Yes, you must. Yes, you must check out the licenses. You must have a license from the Ministry.
So this is
of Labor.
a license for the agency.
Yes,
by the Ministry of Labor.
Yes, to allow you to export.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So in this case, anytime someone, do you allow, say, the people that you're recruiting, say, I am Linda Alela and I'm coming to your office.
Yes.
If I tell you, can I see your license? Would you confidently dish it out?
Yes, actually, whenever the law,
be up?
yes, by the law of how we are governed, the license must be displayed at all times to a place where everybody who enters has to see it.
You have carried this one here. What happens to the ones that are coming
these
here
are
today?
copies.
Oh, these are copies.
I've made the copies for you.
Okay.
So that you know the process.
This is not the original copy.
That's not the original.
So we understand the process. You see, those are some of the things that you ask for.
Yes.
All right.
After that, also, don't stop from there. Just check for that company on the portal of labor. Okay. If it's legit, it will be there. If its license is still operational, it will be there. If it has expired, you will know.
All this information online.
Yes.
If it is
online.
not there, then you put a question mark.
Yes.
Okay.
If it's not there, don't there.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Different certificates here, maybe participation I see, commendable bodies like KNCCI.
You must have all those licenses before you operate.
Okay.
You cannot operate with one license.
All right.
Yes.
But do you suppose the knowledge is out here for the people who go, in search of jobs? Say I come to you as an agency. Do I know the exact licenses to ask for? You go online, you need to confirm with the labor entity?
Yeah, you need to confirm with the labor entity.
So it's more than... But sometimes we get excited that we don't even think of looking at all this.
Okay, even the ladies who are now, the one we call that maybe they are not enlightened, we always give them that information while they are in school.
All right.
Because the first thing before you come to our school, you must have come from a legit registered agents.
Okay.
So all what we do is we teach also those ones who,
how they scrutinize the agency now. Okay.
Yes, they scrutinize. We tell them this is your contract, this is how it goes, the whole process. For the whole month they are in school, we teach them on what is really needed
for you to know that you are dealing with the right people.
Yes. And if me as the owner of the school, I contravene that, there is also a body of trainers
that you go to.
Yes, I will be punished.
Okay.
I will be punished, and the punishment is severe. They tell you, okay, you will not train for 6 months. That means you continue paying workers, but you are not training.
Okay.
Because of contravening
The laws.
The laws. When it comes to the recruitment, also there is a body. There is the CAPEA and there is the ASMAC. There are two bodies which also controls the legit registered agencies.
Okay.
But now where the problem is we are 500. And those who recruit are over 2,000
That's the truth.
doing the business.
Okay.
That means that even if the government does not do the checkup and leave this whole work to one person, we are not making any progress. People will continue crying, but the whole thing, the system is there, but maybe the government is not implementing it fully.
All right, well, but I want to assume that these bodies, as you speak of, are government bodies. Like that one's, you speak of the National Employment...
National Employment Authority is a government body.
It's a government body. So how then can you say that the government is not so much involved? Or is it that they probably do not give out the information that is needed so all this can be streamlined?
What I've said from the start, I said this is a body. We have different departments. And I said it's only one person who is doing his job. Acting like police officer, the recruitment officer, is overworked, is overwhelmed. You cannot imagine one department, actually a lady doing all this. Actually, she's doing a very commendable job.
How much?
But we need to engage what is the role of foreign affairs. What are they doing?
Okay.
2, what is internal security doing? Okay. If internal security, if they are working in together, we would not have these problems.
Okay.
Yes.
So how much would you say that this business, or so to speak, much as it has quirks inside, is bringing back home in form of revenue, in form of making sure that also the country gets to benefit out of the children that we send abroad, in terms of growing the country as well?
Actually, this
we cannot be very specific on the figures, yes, but is it that lucrative?
Very lucrative. We earn money in billions. Now look at this. Most of these people we take, like a passport is 4,000. Yeah. 4,050.
Yes.
Good conduct is 1,050.
Yeah.
That's part of
the process. I mean, those are the part of the biggest requirements that you have to.
Yes. And all this money comes to
the government.
The government.
Okay.
The government is earning actually billions out of this.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we won't go into the figures because we might not be able to be factual on them.
Yes.
But like you rightfully put it, if then it is functioning and bringing into the kitty at home, and also those ones that are in diaspora in most cases then would send something back home.
True.
So, well, if it is something, then we agree that it is worth. You've heard of this bill that I have mentioned in Parliament. And, one would call it the Sakaja bill, in the Senate. At some point in time, they were talking about the fact that, and this is after all these videos are going rounds or making rounds, and there are girls there that are hoping and wishing that, the country would listen to their plea and probably bring them back home. And these are many girls. There are instances where you can say it's just one culprit who is a Kemboy, like you had called. But you find like there are about 10, 20 girls, and they're saying that the situation is bad here. It is bad to a point that some of them are even willing to hide their faces, and the parents back at home, you've asked, they say that yes, we've not heard from our child for this long and all that. Is that the right move, to push for a bill where these processes would be stopped at this point where we know very well that Kenyans need the job? Okay,
the Sakaja bill is good. Actually, is looking at the welfare of the Kenyans, but I would also say this, that you remember we had the committee on labor went to Saudi. Did you realize, to follow up on the comment of the MP for this, the MP for people with a disability, Mr. Sankok. Did you see the comment?
Yes, I think I do.
You did?
Yes.
What was it saying about? That means that whatever they had in the mind before they left Kenya is not what they got on ground. Actually, Sankok vindicated all the agents because he went to Saudi with a different mentality. Actually, he went to come back and close
all these doubts somehow.
Yes. They were supposed to close
they were coming to close the agencies.
Yes.
Okay.
But when they reached Saudi, they saw something quite different. I would say that it's not all people who suffer are bad people. Okay. It's like Kenya here. You can have an employer who is bad and a good employer.
Yeah.
It's the same as Saudi. But when you find majority are on their own issues, then it brings a lot of questions. Yes.
All right, and therefore it would be worth that the bill is looked into, but in a different angle. What are some of the things that you think should be looked into so that moving forward we do not cut this lucrative business, as well we can create employment, we can have our people go in there and they benefit from the employment opportunities that are there, but importantly we can make sure that their lives are protected?
Okay, one of the first steps that we think should be done is to have a desk, the migration desk.
Yes.
That whoever has has an employment visa holder has to be vetted or pass through a specific desk at the airport to make sure that this person has passed through the right channel. That would help.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us the difference of the operations in Kenya and the other countries. You said 6 that you are in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The operation is what is different from what I have here and what I have in other countries. One is all visa holders are treated different from any other visa holder. All those who hold employment visas are treated differently.
Okay.
One, like I would say in Tanzania, when you're in Tanzania and you are looking for a job, you go to the agent. The agent takes the document to TAESA. The Tanzania is a government body which deals with employment. After that, you are told to pay a sum of 130 to the bank.
Okay.
Then after the bank, you've paid to the bank, that document is taken to the Foreign Affairs with the contract. The Foreign Affairs approves it. After it has approved, then you are allowed to export. That's Tanzania. Then come to Uganda. What happens is when the job order comes, has to pass through the embassy, the other side.
Okay.
It's the embassy now to write to you that, okay, you've agreed with Mr. So-and-so to do Oro Company, so-and-so company to do this business. We've confirmed that this company exists, so you can proceed.
Okay.
So they send you a contract with a number that the embassy has to know that this is the number. Okay, I can say J. J means it's only indicated to the company of Madam Linda.
Okay.
That any issue which comes to company J, you will know company Madam Linda is dealing with the company A, B, J.
Okay.
So it's so easy to follow. Here we don't have that. We have just quanks coming in from all over. Right now we have Sudanese who have mushroomed in town doing recruitment. We have Egyptian who are not checked. When you look at the kind of visa that somebody who is coming to recruit should have, it should not be visit visa.
Okay.
Yes.
It should be a person who comes here to stay for at least 2, 3, 5 years.
Not
a
2, 3, no, but they give a temporary work visa.
Okay.
Yes. Here, when you look at what happens, all over, these people are coming, they find them all over in hotels, everywhere, but they're on visit visa. They are tourists. How do a tourist come into a country and begin recruiting and exporting people? Yes.
All right. Well, interesting, and I hope that the necessary authorities then they get to hear this. Someone sends a message here and tells, Linda, what is expected of me in the event that I come to Competitive Manpower International and I'd want to be taken to a country? You know, I am a very good driver, a professional for that matter, class BCE.
Okay. Currently, we have a website and our Facebook page. We've advertised it for drivers.
Or you have openings right now?
Yes, right now.
Okay. You always have openings throughout the year?
Yes, we do. And currently, we have almost 10,000 jobs opening for a daily company called Almarai. We encourage people even to know, like I'm saying, Almarai. Okay. So somebody should go and Google and find out what. So
you do your due diligence with your entities that you want to recruit people to?
Yes,
and
we do.
Are there instances you go there?
We go there. It's actually like myself. I always visit those countries 3 times a year. Yes, every time I have to go and find out the welfare of each and every person we've taken. Okay. So to find out how are they faring, is it a good deal, are they okay? Mm-hmm. We always visit the countries. Okay. So we also encourage whenever you come, we will tell you, okay, we are recruiting for company B. It's up to you also to find out what does this company do. Mm-hmm. Yes. Where is it? In which part of the world is it situated? Mm-hmm. So yes, like for him, we have openings are free of charge. Okay. Yes. What you need to do is you need to have a passport. You need to have good conduct. Mm-hmm. Yes. Later on, you need to have medical, but after you've passed the interview. Mm-hmm. Yes. How expensive is that affair for someone? Say, how much would I pay for the whole process until that day I get to the job destination? Okay, like when we say it's free, what you need to do is passport is around 4,000. Yes. Good conduct is around 1,000. Yes. Then medical is also, you apply online, is 8,800. Right. Yes. So roughly it is just the amount, the basics that you need as a person. The basics. And then you guarantee me that I'll find flight fee and all that? Flight fee, everything, the company takes care of it. Okay. Yes. And so once you get there, you get into training or you start the job immediately? Okay. For professional, they train you at least to make sure that, okay, you are the right person. So payment begins at the point of training? The payment begins on the day you leave Kenya. Okay. The moment you land the other side, the first day is when you start getting your salary. All right. Well, thank you so much. Your website once again is? www.competitivemanpower.com. www.competitivemanpower.com. Check them out and see whether there's something that can help you. I know it is a tough time for many of us, especially. What were the ramifications during COVID-19? How different was it as we close? Okay. Because COVID-19 is still here, but we're talking about the years, the 2 years that, you know, it was quite heavy on us, 2020 coming to 2021. It was really bad because actually our business entirely depends on the flights, the other country being open. But now, even right now, the recruitment part is a bit a challenge because right now they have introduced if you are not vaccinated, you cannot travel. Yeah. Issues, they have also added some kind of costs, like the PCR, which was previously not there, right now it's there. So it's a struggle, but we're pushing on. Mm-hmm. Instead of people suffering here, let them go out there and find a job. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that they necessarily have to come to competitive. I'm saying we are 527 certified. Yes, certified. They should look for a certified agent to take them. Yes. All right. Yeah. Well, job creation in the country is one thing that is evidently hectic. And therefore, if you can trust a person to take you abroad and you are guaranteed of job at least, then you can take advantage of the same. But like
Moses rightfully puts it, it's very important that you conduct your due diligence.
Yes.
Look at some of the nitty-gritty details that need to be looked into. Make sure that you're dealing with the right agencies. Out of the 527, or so
Yes.
to speak, make sure that you do not land into the hands of a quack.
You do not, as I put it, that those who are recruiting, they are over.
Yes.
They're over 2,000. So that means that we have more quacks than
The original, the legit.
The legit.
Yes.
Then I would advise the viewers, we have people who are called the brokers. Please do not deal with the broker at any one time, because the brokers, you will meet in a hotel or a restaurant.
They're the ones who are connecting you to the agents.
Yes.
Okay.
They take a lot of money from you in a restaurant. Then by the time you come, like when I'm here saying the job is free, you find somebody has said
paid like 50, 60.
He has paid over 100 to you here. Whom have you paid? Njeri. Who is in Njeri is not known. Yes.
But are you guys not blocking the brokers as well? Why do you work with it? Because sometimes, they give you information about competitive manpower as if they work there, to be honest.
Okay, like what they do is the information of legit companies are known. Yeah. If you want to know whether competitive is legit, you go just on the website. You know who are the directors. What do they have?
The numbers are there.
Yes, the numbers are there.
Okay.
So getting information about legit companies is so easy. So they use that as an advantage. Then when we are advertising the jobs, we put them, like now when you look at my social media, it's on Twitter. I've advertised on Twitter. I've advertised on Facebook. So it's so easy for somebody to pick that information that, okay, this company has this and this, isn't it? Then you begin sourcing people, getting money from them, but it's not the legit company.
Right.
It's these quanks who are there. Then what we ask, maybe the government has a better hand to handle that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the social media platforms across Competitive Manpower International, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, you take advantage of that. Go and check them out and see whether you can find something for yourself. Lots of feedback. And of course, I'd love for you to channel those ones to the numbers that you will find on the website. Moses, I would want to believe, and his team would be able to answer the questions or the necessary questions that you have for now. Thank you so much, Moses, for speaking to us. Unless you have parting shots, it is only fair that we allow the DJ to play the music. Okay, my parting shot would say, I would say, thanks viewers, do not fear going abroad. Actually, it's challenges are there, but they are not there the way. They are not as much as the way we perceive them to be. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Competitive Manpower International Limited CEO, that is Moses Adala. What's the name of your school again for training purposes? Competitive Training Institute. There you go. Check them out and see whether, once again, it could be helpful to you. Asante sana for speaking to us this morning. We always have this fear of going abroad, but getting someone who's been in the field for long and can give you or revive that confidence for a person and maybe help them. And let's see, we have relatives left, right, and center that travel abroad and they're doing well. So that would be a very great thing. Somebody else is asking, do you work, do you send people to Middle East alone, or you also send them to other places? Okay, mostly I send to Middle East. To Middle East. Yes. All right, but in the event that there are openings on other sides? I do. You do that? Yes. Okay, and this is an interesting one because he says he deals more with the men as opposed to the women. Professionals for that matter. You got it right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. All right, we'll close it at that, but not in totality. Fred here is there, has cooked his stuff, so let's get to enjoy some bit of music.